Dear member, as we come towards the end of an exceptionally warm summer, I hope you have all managed to stay safe and keep cool. August is traditionally a quiet month as our regular activities take a well-earned break, giving everyone a chance to recharge before our autumn programme begins. During this time, we were delighted to trial a new youth programme with our younger members. The pilot was a great success, bringing young people together to make friends, have fun, and build confidence in an accessible, welcoming environment. We hope to expand these sessions during future school holidays, creating more opportunities for young people to develop friendships, independence, and shape activities they would like to see. Community fundraising has also been a highlight this summer. We are incredibly grateful to the family and supporters of one of our members who organised a blind football fundraiser at Victoria Recreation Ground. Thank you to everyone who organised, took part, donated, or came along to support the event. Fundraisers like this make a real difference, and if you, your family, workplace, or community group would like to support Sight for White, we'd love to hear from you. Our next event looks to be the Classic Car Show in Newport on Saturday the 12th of September, and we are incredibly thankful to be one of their chosen charities this year. Looking ahead, I'm particularly excited about our upcoming 1940s themed Murder Mystery Evening, which promises to be a fun-filled event while raising valuable funds for the society. Our Snowdon Challenge is now planned for the end of September, weather permitting. The extra time allows us to finalise travel, accommodation and support arrangements to ensure a safe and successful experience. This important pilot for our Striders Walking Group will help shape future accessible outdoor opportunities for people who are blind and visually impaired. Finally, thank you to our members, families, volunteers, staff, trustees, fundraisers and supporters. Your kindness, time and generosity enable us to continue supporting people across the Isle of Wight. I hope you enjoy the newsletter and look forward to welcoming everyone back as our regular activities resume for another busy autumn. With warmest regards, JD Viet, CEO of Sight for White and White Sense.
Sight for White newsletter Autumn 2026, your local sight loss charity. Front cover shows our water fountain as part of our sensory garden.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our Autumn 2026 newsletter. I know that you will find it packed with information, activities and offers of support. I am so thankful to have all of our marvellous volunteers who fundraise, help run the activities, assist in the shop and support the charity in so many different ways. We could not offer such a varied choice of groups without them. The staff offer technical assistance, eye health care and advice, and many different opportunities to socialise, all with such kindness and care. We are so fortunate to have both excellent staff and volunteers. The short story writing competition was launched last month, so now is the time to start thinking of your topics and storylines. I think a story based on love, hope and courage will provide lots of inspiration. We try to encourage eye care from an early age, and Jasmine, our young person's manager, heads up the team that visits schools where eye care is introduced in such a fun way. Through using different equipment, mimicking various eye conditions, children get to understand how it affects all of those living with sight loss. My grateful thanks to you all. We have a wonderful charity. Thank you.
Contents. Chair Report, page 2. CEO Update, pages 4 to 5. Member Activities, pages 6 to 7. Entertaining Mix and Mingle, pages 8 to 9. Floaters and Flashes, pages 10 to 11. White Sense, page 12. Volunteers Update, page 13. Meet Trustee Yost, pages 14 to 15. Fundraising, pages 16 to 17. 100 Club, Audio Library, page 18. Short Story Writing Competition, page 19. Education Programme, pages 20 to 21. Dress for Less, page 22. Terry's 10 Teasers, page 23. Terry's 10 Teasers Answers and Contact Info, page 24.
It is hard to believe that a full year has passed since I had the privilege of becoming Chief Executive of Sight for White. When I stepped into the role in July 2025, I was conscious that I was joining an organisation with more than 160 years of history on the Isle of Wight. My first year, therefore, has been about listening, learning and building relationships, while also being willing to embrace new ideas and ask, what else could we do to make life better for people affected by sensory loss on our island? Our White Sense service remains at the heart of much of what we do, and demand for specialist sensory support continues to grow. Between April and June alone, we received over 120 referrals, completed nearly 100 assessments, and provided almost 200 follow-ups. But behind every number is a person, someone learning to remain independent, accessing equipment, seeking advice, or regaining confidence. It is particularly encouraging that satisfaction with our support remains exceptionally high. This year has also seen us increasingly work beyond Millbrook House. Our Hello Everyone accessibility project has enabled us to work with GP practices and partners on accessible information and QR-enabled audio, while opening wider conversations around hearing loss, visual impairment, communication and inclusion. Our partnerships have continued to grow with organisations including the Council, NHS and Integrated Care Board, GP practices, RNIB, guide dogs, hearing dogs for deaf people, transport providers, visionary and many voluntary and community organisations. Together we can share knowledge, reach more people and ensure sensory loss has a voice in wider conversations. Our activities including swimming, yoga, walking, golf and mix and mingle are about much more than filling a calendar. They provide friendship, confidence, well-being and opportunities to try new things. We're also exploring stronger opportunities for children and young people, particularly around transition and engagement with the charity. Our Past Futures project will celebrate and capture the extraordinary history of Sight for White, talking news and the changing experience of sight loss on the island, while making that history accessible for future generations. We've continued investing in Millbrook House with improvements to its structure, soundproofing, electrics, lighting and acoustics. Behind the scenes, we've also strengthened financial oversight, governance, risk management, health and safety and staff development. This work may not generate headlines, but strong charities need strong foundations. There are challenges ahead. Funding is competitive and demand continues to increase, but I remain enormously optimistic about what Sight for White can become. Most importantly, my first year has been a team effort. Our staff, volunteers, trustees, members, service users, partners and funders all contribute to making this organisation what it is. To all of you, thank you. We have more than 160 years behind us, but I'm every bit as excited about what comes next. I hope we can continue to be brave enough to try new things, creative enough to find different solutions, and compassionate enough to ensure that whatever somebody's age or circumstances, they know that Sight for White is here for them. JD, CEO.
Members' activities. Weekly. By appointment, we have Sam on hand to give one-to-one help with accessibility features on your computer, laptop, tablet or phone. It is essential you pre-book, so please call ahead.
Monday, Swimming at Medina Leisure Centre, Newport, term time only, between 1:15 p.m. and 2 p.m. Cost is £6. Limited transport is available.
Tuesday, yoga at Millbrook House between 1:45 and 2:45 p.m. Come along and try gentle yoga, just £4, which includes refreshments. Please call the office to book a space.
Wednesday, coffee and chat at Millbrook House between 10 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. All are welcome to join us for coffee and cake. The cost is £2 and the group is open to everyone.
Thursday, mix and mingle at Millbrook House between 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. Planned activities includes crafts, quizzes and entertainment. The cost is £4 plus £3.50 for transport if required.
Tandem bike sessions are now held on a regular basis. Our pilots and members have been enjoying trips out, mainly along the cycle track. If you would like to have a go and you haven't let the office know, please call and put your name on the list. The cost is £3.
Monthly groups. The first Tuesday of the month, Godzill Coffee Morning, 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. held at the Old Smithy Coffee Shop, Godzill. Volunteers Yvonne and Linda will be on hand to chat.
First Thursday of the month, audio book group held at Lord Louis Library, Newport, between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. This group is free to attend.
Second Friday of the month, walk and talk. A short walk is normally between 1.5 and 2 miles. The cost is £2 plus £3.50 for transport. The group enjoys coffee and cake and is a lovely social activity.
Last Friday of the month, Striders is for members who enjoy walking. The walk is normally between 4 and 6 miles, depending on the route and location. The cost is £4 plus £3.50 for transport. The group always enjoys lunch in a local pub and is a great social event.
The last Sunday of the month, golf at Westridge Golf Centre Ride. Members enjoy 45 minutes with a professional instructor available to help the complete novice to those playing regularly.
Ion Social is our afternoon group held on the third Wednesday of the month. This group is open to everyone, members, volunteers and friends, and is a thoroughly enjoyable afternoon, always finishing with tea and cake.
For more information and to reserve your place, please call Susan on 522205. Entertaining Mix and Mingle. About 6 weeks or so, we have the pleasure as volunteers of visiting the Mix and Mingle group on a Thursday. For those who don't know, this is a weekly group who are mostly collected from their homes by minibus or car and arrive at Millbrook House for a few hours of companionship. This can include craft activities, entertainment, quizzes or just chatting. On our recent after-lunch visit, we spent some time chatting about completing advertising jingles and taglines. For instance, 1 million housewives every day pick up a tin of beans and say, or hands that do dishes. The one we struggled with was, they're tasty, tasty, very, very tasty. This was for bran flakes. Peter then asked the question, if we were making a 30-second advert for Sight for White, what would we want to say and show? We felt it was important to say that sight loss doesn't just affect the elderly. We are still able to do lots of fun things using pictures and videos of the different activities, including dancing and axe throwing at Warner's. Meeting with others in similar situations helps you to feel less alone. The kindness and help received was invaluable. So, what would our tagline be? Sight for White, you're not alone? This would be set in an outline of the island. We would have a jingle or maybe someone famous to voice the words. Not necessarily a jingle, but someone with a well-known voice who has a sight problem, maybe Dame Judi Dench. As you can see, there's nothing wrong with the imagination and ambition of this group. If you'd like to know more about the group or volunteering at Sight for White, please get in touch with Susan. You can call her on 522205 or email volunteers@iwsb.org.uk. Sue and Peter, volunteers.
Floaters and flashes. Dots and lines, floaters, or flashes of light in your vision are common. They're not usually serious. Symptoms of floaters and flashes. Floaters in your vision can look like small dark dots, squiggly lines, rings, or cobwebs. Flashes look like sudden flashes of light. They're usually harmless and not a sign of anything serious, especially if you've had them for a long time, they're not getting worse, or your vision is not affected. Flashes may eventually stop, and floaters often become less noticeable as you get used to them. Ask for an urgent optician's appointment or get help from NHS 111 if you have floaters or flashes in your vision for the first time, you suddenly get floaters or flashes in your vision, the number of floaters or flashes suddenly increases, you have a dark curtain or shadow moving across your vision, you also have blurred vision, you also have eye pain, floaters start after your eye surgery or an eye injury. These could be signs of a serious problem with the back of your eye, which could permanently affect your vision if it's not treated quickly. You can call 111 or get help from 111 online. What happens at your appointment? If you have problems with floaters or flashes in your vision, your eyes will be checked at an optician's to see if they need to be seen by an eye doctor, ophthalmologist, for more tests or treatment. You'll usually only need treatment if you have a problem that could affect your vision. Causes of floaters and flashes. Lots of people, particularly older people, get floaters and flashes. They're usually caused by a harmless process called posterior vitreous detachment, or PVD, where the gel inside your eyes changes. Sometimes they can be caused by retinal detachment. This is serious and can lead to permanent vision loss if not treated. Floaters and flashes can also happen for just no obvious reason.
White Sense Sensory Service. Karen attended the Independent Living Show at the Steam Railway in July. It was attended by around 30 local organisations offering their services to islanders to help them stay independent. We talked to over 80 attendees from the public over the course of a very warm day. We are very pleased to announce that Emma completed and passed her 2-year training course and is now a fully qualified Vision Rehabilitation Specialist, VRS. Huge congratulations to Emma, who has worked incredibly hard and is now looking forward to supporting all those on the island with a vision loss through mobility and independent living skills. Our Hearing Cafe has seen some new faces recently, which has been lovely to see. Please remember it is open to everyone with a hearing loss and their family and friends. It allows a comfortable space to be able to chat, knowing that around you understand struggles and communications with hearing loss. They are held on the second Monday of each month, 10:30 a.m. till noon. No meeting in August. At various locations around the island, our next meeting are as follows. The 14th of September, The Range in Cowes. The 12th of October, Wadhams in Newport Town Centre. And the 9th of November, Busy Bees in Ryde. December, Christmas meal, date and location to be confirmed.
Volunteers Update. As always, I would like to welcome all our new volunteers. We are very lucky to have so many volunteers who enable us to support our members through activities, services and events, as well as work within our fabulous dress agency shop, Dress for Less. Although August is always shut down for groups, our volunteers are kept busy with the Talking News, audio library, Dress for Less and fundraising. It also gives us time to plan ahead with rotas, fundraising ideas and a general tidy up of Millbrook House. Thank you to everyone who attended the summer party. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend, but the photos look great and I hope you all enjoyed the afternoon. As always, I would like to welcome all our new volunteers. We are very fortunate to have so many who enable us to support our members through activities, services and events, as well as work within our dress agency, Dress for Less. Our next volunteer catch-up is on Tuesday the 13th of October at 10:30 here at Millbrook House. This is an opportunity for volunteers to meet with one another and enjoy coffee and cake. As always, if anyone knows a family member, friend or neighbour who would like to volunteer and be part of our amazing team, please do not hesitate to call the office and speak to me about opportunities we have on offer. Susan, Volunteers and Members Manager.
Meet Trustee Joost.
Hello, my name is Joost Spit and I live in Brading with my wife, Terry, and our son Troy and our dog Freya. I was born in Amsterdam some 64 years ago. I spent my youth moving from the Netherlands to Germany, then back to Japan and then back to Holland, where I ended up doing most of my education, including university, where I studied electrical engineering and computer science. After uni, I was fortunate to roll into a few interesting jobs where I watched and participated in the rise of the computer era. I moved from hands-on jobs to project management and in 1999 decided to start my own business, helping local companies with their IT. I was one of the first companies to implement a private cloud for my customers in 2007, running my own servers in the big data center in Amsterdam, which meant I did not have a lot of on-site support to worry about anymore. That is when we, that is Terry and myself, entertained the idea to look elsewhere and decided we would love to live on the island as Terry's family is all here. We packed up and moved to St. Helens with 3 of our kids. The other 3 came over later and we never looked back. I continued to run my business for quite a few years, but when Terry started her property inventory company, I had the chance to semi-retire and look into taking up community work, which had always appealed to me. After becoming involved with St. Helens Parish Council, I was invited to join the St. Helens Community Centre. I served as chair for a number of years and helped keep the centre running through the COVID period. To help residents reconnect after the long period of isolation, I introduced a regular coffee morning. Through this, I came into contact with Aspire in Ryde and later applied there for a part-time job role as a digital inclusion officer. One opportunity led to another, and I was fortunate to work with JD on improving community engagement at the old church in Ryde. I was also asked to supervise their community fridge program, and with support from Aspire and match funding from the co-op, I helped set up a similar community fridge in the foyer of St. Helens Community Centre. It continues to run to this day. After I left Aspire, I joined the Spider Bifida charity in 2024, supporting the fundraising team with summer events and the Christmas fair. I still support Aspire, helping out with their events for a few weekends throughout the year. When JD joined Sight for White, I hoped he would ask me to get involved, and in May he invited me to join as trustee treasurer, and I gladly accepted. I suggested that I could be of help with the IT at Sight for White, which would reduce some of the cost, and over the past weeks I have helped out where I can and started on a restructure of the IT to create an easy, maintainable and secure IT environment. I also like to help out with community events, so I think you will see me around quite a bit and hope to meet our volunteers, members and their families.
Fundraising. Our fundraising team has been very busy over the last few months, and we cannot thank everyone enough who have contributed their time donations and baking to make all our events successful.
Our open studios held at Gurnard once again proved very popular, and although the weather was extremely hot, the homemade cakes, as always, were very popular.
We held 2 events in Chillerton, and I thank the villagers for making us so welcome, both at the village market and the Scarecrow competition. The Scarecrow Festival was so busy, and we actually sold out of cake.
A special thank you must go to our volunteer Lynn, who opened her gardens in Northwood and provided delicious cream teas for everyone. It was such a lovely afternoon enjoyed by members, volunteers, staff and friends.
We would be very grateful if you have a garden which you believe is suitable for a garden party and willing to open it. Please speak to Susan. We can always provide the tea and cake. We need to look at different forms of fundraising during 2027, and afternoons like this are a pleasurable way of raising funds.
Save the date. Wednesday, November the 4th, we will once again be holding a second-hand equipment sale at Millbrook House, and we will have a table with Christmas goods on. More details to follow.
Looking ahead, we are the chosen charity for the Isle of Wight Classic Motor Show at Newport Quay on Saturday the 12th of September. We will be collecting money in our buckets and also have a stall raising vital funds for the charity. If you are visiting the show, please pop by and say hello.
Our annual sponsored bike ride, Ride the Wight, will run for all of September, and once again we will display the miles at Millbrook House. The cycling is open to everyone, so if you would like to raise money, please ask for a sponsor form. Perhaps you know a family member or friend who would like to raise money cycling. Everything raised stays here at Sight for Wight, helping island residents. We will have a static bike at our stand at the Classic Motor Show so people can clock up a few miles whilst enjoying the show. And a static bike will be at Millbrook House throughout September, so please pop in and pedal a few miles at your leisure.
Clock up the miles any way you like.
100 Club. Did you know we have our own 100 Club? This is our own lottery, but restricted to 100 members. Each month, entrants pay £2 for a number with 40% prize money distributed as a single prize, and the remaining 60% going directly to support our services. This quarter's winners are Pauline, Ruth and Glyn. Congratulations. If you'd like to join the Sight for Wight 100 Club, it is just £2 a month. You can pay annually or by standing order each month. Audio Library. Our CD audiobooks are available on free loan to our VI members. Kate will send you a list of books by author and title, from which you can select your preferences. Audiobooks are sent out and returned to us by post as articles for the blind in protective, reusable wallets at no cost. Once finished, you just pop it back in the post and Kate will send you a new one. There are over 2,100 titles to choose from. A huge thank you to our volunteer Kate, who comes in every single day to get books out ASAP and single-handedly keeps the service thriving.
Short Story Writing Competition 2026. Write about a story inspired by love, hope, courage, for a chance to have your story recorded by a celebrity and published. Entry fee per story, adults £8, 1,500 to 2,000 words, 12 to 17s up to 750 words, 8 to 11s up to 500 words, under 8s up to 250 words. Under 18s suggested donation £2. Entry forms available from Waterstones, Sight for Wight, Dress for Less. Admin at iwsb.org.uk, sightforwight.org.uk. Closing date for entries Friday the 30th of October 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Award ceremony Friday 11th of December 2026, Riverside Centre, Newport at 7 p.m. Celebrity readers Paul Topping, Alex Polizzi, Stuart McGinley, Richard Cadell and Chesney Hawkes.
Education Programme. As a volunteer with the Education Programme, I have the privilege of going into primary schools on the island with Jasmine and other volunteers to share this well-planned learning experience. This is enjoyed by the children and also by the teaching and support staff. Recently, I joined the team who visited Oakfield Primary in Ryde, Arreton Primary and St Francis Primary in Ventnor. Usually arriving at the school at the beginning of the day, we join a class for anything from 60 to 75 minutes. The children are always excited to have visitors and very willing to engage. Jasmine begins the session with a PowerPoint presentation talking about what Sight for White does and who we help. She then explains a few of the more well-known sight conditions, and after this, asks for suggestions on what we can do to keep our eyes healthy. The most common response is eat carrots. Eating healthily is important, but not just carrots. Other things we discuss are wearing a sun hat and sunglasses, getting enough sleep, wearing goggles if doing anything that may flick into your eyes, washing your hands especially if you touch your eyes, having your eyes checked regularly, and wearing glasses if prescribed. Exercise, and the children always groan about, not too much screen time. We then split the class into 3 groups for different activities. Braille experience. This includes understanding how Braille works and writing your name in Braille. Sensory and showing some of the equipment to help the visually impaired using an interactive map of the island. All these activities are very hands-on. I usually lead the sensory activity where we talk about the different senses and then do drawing exercises and some jigsaw puzzles wearing blindfolds. The challenge of drawing a picture of your favourite animal or where you live when you can't see is interesting. I try to encourage the children not to cheat by peeking and explain that it isn't about doing the best drawing but understanding how difficult it is to draw when you can't see. One child was so intent on doing it properly, half of his picture was drawn on the table. Our aim is that every child gets to experience each activity. We sometimes have children within the class with sight difficulties who really benefit from having what they cope with every day talked about and being more fully understood. The education programme is always in need of more volunteers, so if you think this would be something you'd like to enjoy, please contact Jasmine. Article written by Sue Volunteer, read by Jasmine.
It was time that all our lovely volunteers had a fun get-together. We recently all met for a lovely lunch at One Holyrood in Newport. The weather was beautiful and we opened a couple of bottles of Prosecco to celebrate all things Dress for Less. I wanted to particularly celebrate Tina, our longest serving volunteer. Tina joined the shop 12 years ago. Her father was a physiotherapist and was severely visually impaired and benefited from the services offered by Sight for White. Tina is a very creative lady and these skills have made her a very valuable volunteer, taking on repairs to garments that would have otherwise been thrown away. These wonderful ladies are the lifeblood of our shop and I thank them all from the bottom of my heart. Don't forget, we're always looking for new volunteers. If you think you would like to join our team, please contact Debbie for further details. You can call me on 01983 523197 or you can email me at retail@iwsb.org.uk. Thank you, Debbie.
Hello everybody, it's Terry back with you again for the next selection of Terry's 10 teasers for the current issue of Sight for White's wonderful magazine. And as I've been recording these, it's still the height of the hot summer, so I've concentrated to a fair degree on questions about summertime. Not all the way through, but quite a few are. So if you're ready, off we go. Number 1. In the south and southeast of England, how long does it have to be how hot to be declared a heat wave? It's sort of 2 questions in one. How long does it have to last and how hot does it have to be declared a heat wave? It's different in different parts of the country. That's why I said in the south and southeast of England. Number 2, most of Hampshire, West Sussex and the Isle of Wight currently have a hosepipe ban, but one small region doesn't. Where is that? Number 3. How many years is it now since the England football team won the World Cup? Still a sore subject for many people, I expect. Still, they did well this year. Number 4. Which town is generally regarded as the hottest one on the island in the summer? Number 5. Why is the England versus Australia cricket series referred to as the Ashes? And we always talk about the Ashes. Australia have won the Ashes, or England have won the Ashes, but why the Ashes? Number 6. How old is Linda Noskova, winner of this year's ladies' singles at Wimbledon? And my goodness, it makes me feel terribly old. How old is Linda Noskova? I think that's how they pronounce it. Number 7. Which flower is sometimes referred to as a flag or a blue flag? It's either known as a flag or a blue flag. What's it really called? Number 8. A centenarian looks after 100 soldiers. True or false? Number 9. It's a long way to Tipperary. Or is it? Approximately how far do you think it is from the island to Tipperary, by road and of course ferry, because as I'm sure you know it's in Ireland? How far do you think it is? And you can be 100 miles out on the, well, anything between 100 and another 100 will be fine. And number 10, what was the name of Sherlock Holmes's sidekick or companion, who supposedly wrote all of the memoirs of Sherlock Holmes's wonderful stories? All right, there's your 10 questions. How many will you get right? And here we are with the answers to Terry's 10 teasers. Number 1, it has to be 3 days or more of at least 28 degrees Celsius or centigrade, that's the same thing really. So in the south and southeast of England, it has to be 28 degrees or more for at least 3 days or longer. Now this hosepipe ban for number 2, all over the place, in fact a lot of the country, but not Portsmouth, a densely populated city, but somehow they managed. They have their own water company, and by mid-July at least, when I was recording this, they had still not introduced a ban. Number 3, how long is it since the England team won the World Cup? 60 years, 1966, when we were all quite young. Well, perhaps some of us weren't even born. I wasn't even that young, but never mind. Number 4, the town whose climate and temperature is generally regarded as the best on the island is Ventnor, because they can grow subtropical plants there in the botanical gardens, as you probably know. So Ventnor is generally thought of as being the hottest town on the island in the summer. Now this business of the Ashes, in 1882 Australia beat England, and the Sporting Times published a mock obituary stating that English cricket had died and the body would be cremated and the ashes taken to Australia. And that particular test series has been known as the Ashes ever since. Linda Noskova, however it's pronounced, is 21 years of age. What an achievement already. Amazing. The flag or blue flag, the flower which is known often as either of those names, is actually the iris. And is a centenarian a person that looks after 100 soldiers? No, that's false. That's a centurion. A centenarian is someone who lives to be 100 years old. Number 9. It's a long way to Tipperary. Well, it is quite a long way. It's about 536 miles by road and ferry. But have a point for any answer between about 500 and 600 miles. You probably had to look it up to get the answer anyway. I did, to be honest. I had to find the answer to that one by Dr. Google, as they refer to it, don't they? And number 10, talking of doctors, Sherlock Holmes's sidekick or companion was Dr. Watson. And you can give yourself an extra point if you knew that his first name was John. So you could have 11 points and 10 questions. Anyway, it was fun rather than anything. No prizes, but I hope you enjoyed puzzling out the answers. And that's it from me for now. So I'll say goodbye to you all. Bye.
Contact details. Sight for White. Telephone 01983 52205. Email inquiries@iwsb.org.uk. Website sightforwhite.org.uk. White Sense. Telephone 01983 240 222. Email info@whitesense.org.uk. Web whitesense.org.uk. Opening hours Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Dress for Less. Telephone 01983 523 197. Email retail@iwsb.org.uk. Address 57 Pyle Street, Newport, Isle of Wight, PO30 1UL. Newsletter available in the following formats: Alexa, USB, Braille.